चाइना के साथ उनकी इन जो हरकतों के खिलाफ आवाज उठानी चाहिए थी। लाल आंख कर करके चाइना को समझाना चाहिए था।
रुको जरा, सबर करो।
Where after major standoff over the Chinese spy balloon, US President Joe Biden has warned China and said that if China threatens our sovereignty, we will act, and we did. And amid the face-off between China and the United States, the Washington Post has carried a report that claims that China has been operating a fleet of spy balloons targeting several nations, including India and Japan, for several years. According to this report, in the Washington Post, US Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman reportedly briefed representatives from 40 embassies on the spying issue. Now, this is what was said. And the real question is, did these Chinese spy balloons target India? Surveillance balloon effort operated for several years, has what been claimed, this report claims. Collected information on military assets in India, Japan and Taiwan. Surveillance airships operated by PLA spotted over 5 continents. Fleet of balloons developed to conduct surveillance operations, as per the report. These balloons have violated sovereignty of other nations too. Now, very, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, that not so long ago, there were unconfirmed reports that came out to also claim these very claims that this has happened soon after a tri-services exercise in the Indian Ocean off the coast of India. Although the Indian Armed Forces or the Indian government never confirmed or denied these reports, but these reports did appear sometime in Jan-Feb 2022. Professor Brahma Chalani, Strategic Affairs expert, with us at this point. Professor Brahma Chalani, namaste. Now, does this lend credence to those reports which were never validated? Because this is a proper formal briefing where this is being said. And what does this then imply?
To put it in some context, the Biden administration is on the defensive. It's facing the heat at home from critics who ask as to why the Chinese spy balloon was allowed to traverse the United States from Alaska to South Carolina over 4 days and transfer valuable intelligence back home to China without that balloon being shot down. How did Biden allow this reconnaissance airship to traverse American airspace for so long, and he waited until it was offshore before ordering it to be downed? It could have been downed over sparsely populated Alaska or Montana, for example, but it was allowed to travel across the United States and collect intelligence on sensitive facilities of the US, and only belatedly was it shot down. Had it been shot down on land, it would have been easier to collect the debris also and examine what kind of equipment it was carrying. So in that context, what we are seeing is Biden administration offering one explanation after another as to why it did not shoot down that airship earlier. So now we have some anonymous sources being quoted by the Washington Post as saying that even India and Japan have been targeted. Let's be clear that China does have a vast aerial surveillance system in place. It engages in aggressive aerial surveillance, and I'm sure against India too. But to say that Chinese balloon or balloons have actually invaded Indian airspace in the past would be a claim that that is not backed by any credible evidence, because any kind of airship that enters Indian airspace...
It's not, because the report said that they did see something like this, and there are other nations also who have said this, Professor Brahmacharya. Interestingly, these spy balloons fly at great heights, at more than 42,000 feet. That was what a News18.com report also had very clearly said, that these balloons fly at a height that even our supersonic jets do not fly at that height. They go at up to maximum 35 to 38,000 feet, but these fly higher than that. Now, at that height, what is it that they can map is many people are questioning. How is it that these balloons can be thus controlled, that their flight path can be so accurate? The Chinese themselves claim that they all went astray. They lost control. They have actually sacked somebody very senior, a very senior official within the PLA for this entire goof up which has happened and this entire spy balloon being caught. But can it be put it past them that they will not resort to this? This is a World War II technique. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, the balloons may be of World War II vintage, but these are balloons that are operating with artificial intelligence. They are carrying highly sophisticated equipment. So the balloon itself, the platform itself, may look quite old, but it has very sophisticated reconnaissance technology on board. And it's paradoxical that not one but two such airships of China have been over Americas, one over North America, another over South America. And by Chinese admission, these balloons have limited self-piloting capability. So if they have limited self-piloting capability, how did they go astray thousands of kilometers from their due course? If they have some capability of it, to course correct, how could they go off track by, let's say, something like 10,000 kilometers? So there is more to it than meets the eye, and certainly the Chinese claim that these are civilian airships, that they are weather related, obviously carries no credence.